Hi everyone, this is YE Merch, and today I have another Latin textbook. I guess these are sort of reviews. I don't really know what these are. I just sort of go through them. Today we have Hillard and Bodding's Latin Compendium, and this is a very large, a very thick textbook, not very large. As you can see, let me just adjust the lights. And on the front we have a statue of Hercules. And I think I would recommend this textbook for possibly high school or college Latin, as opposed to like a more basic level Latin, although this is more about teaching grammar than actual literature. So you will see in a few seconds exactly how the tone of this textbook is. So we have here section 1. It starts talking about tenses in English, and then it introduces you to the Latin tenses. And here are some exercises. They have English exercises, and then we have Latin exercises. And it alternates between them so that you can practice. You'll start seeing patterns really quickly, and I think that it will stick into your head very easily if you keep doing these sort of repetitive exercises. I think that this is more of the grammar translation method. I wouldn't say this is like a direct method textbook entirely, although it has sort of the beginnings of Latin composition, where you start to translate English into Latin, as opposed to the other way around. So let's actually try one of the exercises here. They give you the first 3 verbs: laboro, I work; amo, I love; and maturo, I hasten. So in this case, number 1, I work, would be laboro. 2, we love, would be amamos. And they don't tell you that right away, but in the back there are charts. But let's continue anyway. We have 3, he hastens, maturat. We hasten, maturamos. You work, laboras. They love, amant. I hasten, maturo. He works, laborat. We work, laboramos. You hasten, maturatis. So those are all first conjugation verbs, I assume. And then we have here in the second exercise, it actually goes straight to the future tense, whereas most textbooks I've seen just go straight to the past ones, imperfect, perfect, pluperfect tenses. This is kind of new because it goes straight to the future tense. But just to move on, I'm just going to keep flipping through. The second one is about the past tenses, and we see all these exercises throughout. What I noticed about this textbook is there are no pictures. This is purely a textbook, in the sense that there is literally only text in here. I kind of like the way that this is. This is more my style, very traditional. I think this has been going on for over 100 years. This book, I think. I'm not sure. But let's work a little quicker. And let's see if we can find some sentences to read. Because, that's more interesting than reading verb conjugations, I think. So eventually you will be able to write whole sentences and translate them from English to Latin, and the other way around, of course, from Latin to English. I had to adjust the camera, so hopefully now you can see it a little better. Oh, okay, so let's read a little passage here, actually. This is entirely in Latin. Olim in Graecia regnabant Agamemnon et Menelaus, copias parabant et ad Asiam navigaverunt, cum in collis Asiae dio pugnabant. Troiam opugnaverunt et tandem superaverunt. Inter in collas Troiae pugnabat Aeneas, ubi ad venae Troiam expugnaverunt, Aeneas late erabat et tandem ad Italiam navigavit, cum in collis Italiae pugnavit et superavit. Aeneadae albam longam aedificaverunt. Postea Romulus Romam prope albam longam aedificavit et ibi regnabat. In collae Romae late per Italiam famam comparabant, cum in collis Italiae pugnabant et saepe superabant. Fama Romae hodie durat et semper durabit. That's the founding of Rome. That's what it says on here, on the title. As you can see, there are a lot of first conjugation verbs. I don't think it has introduced you to any second, third, or fourth yet. At least that's what I'm seeing. I don't think so. See, you're never gonna see this in a modern language class, these exercise sentences. We laid waste the fields of the barbarians. And others here that we have here. I'm sorry, did I see that right there? Boys love danger. That would be pueri amant periculum, I think. Not sure. Yeah, so we have adjectives. This is a pretty standard textbook. I think a lot of people would find this old-fashioned, but this is exactly my style. I actually got this textbook from someone I met at a party. Imagine that. You know, people usually call me over if there's somebody who's anywhere near, like, education, because they assume, like, you know, I might want to talk to them. So this person was they still are, a professor, and we started talking about Latin, and he said he had some Latin books, so he decided that I could keep them, because he doesn't really have much need for them, because he's a math professor. So there's that. Alright. So you can see there is a sort of repetitiveness to it. It has all these short exercises and then these longer passages to read. I'm going to move a little quicker now because, you know, this is a very long textbook, I'd say. Until I find something interesting that I could read. I think this is something that I definitely would want to sort of incorporate into my future lessons if I were to teach. Would be sort of like creating your own Latin sentences, just like not translating English to Latin, although that would be there. It's more so that they can think in Latin. And of course, some corrections would be made over time, that kind of thing. It's to get them used to Latin composition with their own thoughts, their own words. Things. Let's see. I want to read this one. 149. An unnatural daughter. Tu improba puella Tullia sine misericordia curum ascendit, ubi in forum venerunt sine timore in magna turba virorum, lucium e curia vocavit et ave inquit rex Romane. Mox ubi lucii iussu domum revertebat, mortui patris corpus inuia jacebat, auriga corpus ostendit, tum filia iussu trans patris membra curus ab auriga actus est, et axis sanguine cruenta batur. Oh my god. oh no, somebody has already, someone's bleeding here. That's what that's saying right there. Res tam foeda omnium iram movit, et primo tota urbs dissensione perturbata est. Filia tamen poenas non persolvit, servio regi servii gener Lucius Tarquinius successit. You can't avoid a passage that has something to do with someone bleeding or dying or some other tragic thing in a Latin textbook. Yes, I am going page by page, just in case. I bet nobody ever expected to see textbooks in an ASMR video. Maybe you might like the sound of the pages flipping. This isn't, I think a lot of people would find this textbook very dry, and certainly very repetitive, although I have seen a drier textbook, but I don't have it here, so I borrowed it. I wish I did a video on it. You know. It was called Learn to Read Latin, and oh boy, it was dry. This basically summarizes me in a nutshell, the imperative mood. Okay, it's a joke, I'll understand. Oh, the infinitive. That's an interesting one. Laborare est orare. Working is praying. So I'm just gonna flip very, very quick now. And I think this will cover all of Latin grammar, all the stuff that isn't one-time exceptions. I'll start skipping around here till we get to something different. Maybe there'll be a whole page that you have to translate completely in Latin. and I guess when I was first learning it, I think this textbook would have been my preference over what I had, because I was very confused when it came to remembering grammar, and I kind of like the pacing of this textbook, because I actually learn best with memorization and repetition, as opposed to, like, fun ways of learning it. But that's just me. And now we finally get to the appendix, I think. It starts to show you the declensions and things like that. Oh no, wait. Yeah. It's like charts. And then you have the vocab. Like all the words that you were expected to know. And like, of course, where you can find them. Here they are, the declensions. I have here first declension. Like having them at the end with very minimal interferences, like things that are not related to the concept that you're learning, you know. Oh wow, this is the entire third declension. Look at that. I think that was it. I'm not sure. You see that? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, what happened to the fourth? Oh, there it is. We've got an entire page dedicated to numbers. Numbers from 1 to 20, and then goes by tens, goes by hundreds, thousands. So it also shows you the Roman numeral form, as well as the Latin word. Very useful. This one I have a little less to say about, I guess, than the other textbooks, because they were more visual. At least there were like pictures I could point to, but in this case, not so much. So we have the irregular verbs. Here's sum, which is I am, except the infinitive would be esse, to be. And it just keeps going with the conjugations of verbs and whatnot. I actually have some videos on the irregular verbs in Latin. I made them a long time ago though, so I'm not sure if they were completely accurate, but yes, I have made ASMR videos based on conjugating verbs. Oh, look at that. There are little tiny, there are like little tiny printed sections here that show the differences between direct statements and indirect statements, and direct commands and indirect commands. Let's see if they have the question form too. Direct and indirect questions. I guess not. But I do want to read one of these. Maybe all of them. But you know what? I'll just read this one here. Indirect statement. Locutus est pro haeduis divitiacus, cum Germanis haeduos semel atque iterum armais contendisse. Magnam calamitatem pulsos accepisse, omnem nobilitatem, omnem equitatem
quadum amici se. Sed peus victoribus sequanis, quam haeduis victis accidisse. Proptereo quod ario istus rex Germanorum, in eorum finibus concedisset, tertiamque partem agri sequani, qui esset optimus totius Galliae occupaviset. Ario vistum esse barbarorum iracundum, non posse eus imperia diutius sustineri.
Oh, look at that. It actually tells you the syllable weight and things like that, so that you can pronounce better. This textbook was actually intended for the student to become fluent in Latin, at least on paper, if not out loud. So, of course. And it's kind of funny because I bet people a long, long time ago, even after the Romans, maybe like 2 centuries ago, might have actually been fluent. And I kind of wish I was. I'm a little jealous. So, we have here the end of the textbook. And the end of the video, of course. So, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you felt relaxed. And I will see you in my next video.